Medical negligence intersects significantly with the human rights as it directly impacts the right to health and the right to life. Various legal frameworks, including the Consumer Protection Act, the Law of Torts, and the Indian Penal Code (IPC), provides avenues for redressing medical negligence and ensuring accountability. Here is a detailed overview of how these legal provisions work in context of medical negligence. Medical negligence and human rights. Medical negligence occurs when a healthcare provider deviates from the standard of care, resulting in the harm to the patient. This breach can violate the fundamental human rights, particularly the right to health, and in severe cases the right to life, as enshrined in Article 21 of Indian Constitution. Legal frameworks addressing medical negligence. First, we will discuss about Consumer Protection Act. Consumer Protection Act 2019. Under this act, patients are considered consumers and healthcare providers are considered service providers. Patients can file complaints against healthcare providers for deficient services, which include medical negligence. The Act provides for a tiered system of consumer dispute resolution through district, state, and national consumer dispute redressal commissions. Key case is Indian Medical Association versus VP Santha in 1995. The Supreme Court held that medical services fall within the purview of the Consumer Protection Act, allowing patients to seek redressal for medical negligence through consumer forums. Second, we will discuss about Law of Torts. Tort of negligence. Under the common law principle of tort, patients can sue healthcare provider for negligence, seeking compensation for damages suffered due to the breach of duty of care. To establish negligence, the plaintiff must prove that the healthcare provider owed a duty of care, breached that duty, and caused harm as a direct result. Key elements of this is: first is duty of care. The healthcare provider must owe a duty of care to the patient. Second is breach of duty. The standard of care expected was not met. Causation. The breach directly caused the injury or harm. Damages. The patient suffered actual harm or injury as a result. Now we will discuss about Indian Penal Code, that is IPC. Section 304A and 337A, 337 and 338 IPC. Section 304A IPC. Causes death by negligence, punishable with imprisonment up to 2 years with a fine or both. Section 337 IPC. Causes hurt by act endangering life or personal safety, punishable with a imprisonment up to 6 months or with a fine or both. Section 338 IPC. Causes grievous hurt by act endangering life or personal safety, punishable with an imprisonment up to 2 years or with a fine or both. Key case we will discuss about Dr. Suresh Gupta versus Government of NCT of Delhi 2004. The Supreme Court held that for medical negligence to be criminally actionable, there must be a gross negligence or recklessness. Now we will discuss about Criminal Procedure Code, that is CRPC. Procedure for prosecution, that is complaint of medical negligence leading to criminal liability, are investigated under the CRPC. Upon finding sufficient evidence, the police can file a charge sheet and the case is tried in criminal code. Section 197 CRPC requires a prior sanction from the government to prosecute a public servant, including government employed doctors, for act done in the course of their official duty. Now, criminal liability. Establishing criminal negligence. Criminal liability in cases of medical negligence is stringent and requires proving beyond a reasonable doubt that the healthcare provider acted with a gross negligence or recklessness. Now we will discuss about key considerations. That is, first is mens rea, that is guilty mind. Unlike civil negligence, criminal negligence often requires a high degree of fault, typically gross negligence or reckless disregard for the patient's safety. Burden of proof. The prosecution must establish the element of crime beyond a reasonable doubt. Practical implications and challenges. First is balancing act. Court and legislature must balance holding healthcare provider accountable and not deterring them from performing their duties due to fear of litigation. Second is expert testimony. Medical negligence cases often rely on expert testimonies to establish the standard of care and whether there was a breach. Third is quality of healthcare. Legal accountability can drive improvements in healthcare quality, but excessive litigation might lead to defensive medicine practices where doctors order unnecessary tests and procedures to avoid lawsuits. Fourth is access to justice. Ensuring that the patients have access to justice while also providing fair protection to healthcare provider is crucial. Legal mechanism must be efficient, fair and sensitive to the complexities of medical practices. Now we will come to the conclusion part, that medical negligence involves a complex interplay of human rights and legal principles across different branches of law. The Consumer Protection Act and the Law of Torts and the IPC provides multiple avenues for redressal and accountability. Ensuring justice in case of medical negligence requires a balanced approach that safeguards patients' rights while not unduly penalizing medical professionals who act in good faith. Thank you.